Okay. Let's start how the things is working. Earlier, any Spring Boot application we have started, the moment we have started, it is a direct application is coming. Let's run a application without Spring Boot. Let's run an application which is running without Spring Boot. Like this application we can run. Okay, if we run this application, very good. It is a Spring Boot application without any security. Without any security, we are running an application, old application. This is an application. Okay, any first number, suppose 10, it is a number 20, and it is 30. So this is an application, simple application we have earlier we have done. So what are the things we have done? Okay, let me review it. This is the startup page. Okay, please keep everybody mute. Okay, if there is a background noise, please mute. This is the first page. Please try to understand an application which is running without security. This is the first page. Enter the first number, enter the second number. The moment we are clicking, it is going to where? It is going to controller. It is going to controller, home controller. It is coming to here, home controller. In home controller, it is simple. It is doing the index.jsp startup page, and page is coming. It is the index page is a startup page, and after index page in form action, it is sending a method calc method, a calc method, and it is doing a, then it is going to controller, and already is a calc method. It is a Spring MVC multiple functions. We have shown the demo earlier. So number 1, number 2, and finally it is a return calc.jsp, where actually we are adding to number and we are printing the value. So this is the applications are running so far. Is there any doubt about these applications? Any doubt? Anybody? This is simple MVC applications. We have earlier given the demo. It is no security features is implemented here. Is it clear to everybody? It is a prerequisite for before going to the Spring security.
Yes, sir, clear, sir. Clear.
It is clear to many of you. And those who are completely new, just attend the 1-day session or just 2-day session before. It may not be clear to them. Okay, but don't hesitate, not fear. Again, entire things will be going to repeat for you. But just who are completely new, just attend 1 or 2 sessions, and again next month again entire things will be repeated for you. So good. Next,
from next month onwards, July, we'll start a fresh session on Spring.
Yes, next month is a 4th. I will be in leave, and 3rd and 4th I will be leave, and 10th onwards again a new session batch will be start for entire Spring security. Entire things will be repeated. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
This next, actually, if we, what are the things we need to do? if we do a project, let's do a project, and now I am showing you a project which is running with security. Okay, next we are going to show you demo a project which is running using security. Then we will create a project applying the security. Okay, will it be that good for you? This is the project, it is running without any Spring security. Now I am going to give you the demo, a project which is running actually using Spring security. Then we will do a project by coding ourselves to implement the security. Will it be okay to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's
sir.
run a project which is running using Spring security. Let's run this project. A security features has been implemented here. Okay, so it is running in 8080 port. Let's check. Localhost. A login page has come. Yes or no? All of you have noticed a login page has come.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can we test it? Is it working with security? Let's check with the it has been incorporated with the DB. Okay, and user ID password will be matches with the database also. Let's open MySQL database to check it. One minute. This is the table. This is the employee table, but here we have created the user table separated. User table has a 3 value. User table has a 3 value. We have created a table ID, username, password. Very simple. 3 fields: ID, user ID, and password. 3 fields is there. So we can check Alok and password Kolkata, and let's check whether it is working. Alok and password Kolkata. It is working. So if we give the wrong user ID password, if we give the wrong password, then it is a bad credential. That means it is working with the backend database connection and user ID password. It is able to check. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So it is working. We are going to learn how this entire pictures is working in the behind. So, okay. So this is the things, and this is the Spring security we are going to learn now. Before that, actually, let me gone through a code view, and after that we can build one by one. That will be better for you also. Okay, let's start. Okay, everybody keep your video mute. It is whom? Kundan, please mute your video. Okay, so let's start a new project. Let's start a new project in the using Spring security project. Create a new project. First, you can create a new project. New. Okay, how we are creating the new project? Spring Starter project. Spring Starter project. Okay, so you can give this, everything is okay. Here you give the Spring Boot Secure. we are giving the name Spring Boot Secure Project. Spring Boot Secure Project. Next. Okay, here all of you need to learn new things, and we are adding to security. So these dependencies, security. Okay, earlier so far we have not used it, but now we are going to use the Spring Security. So we are going to select these dependency. We can add directly in the pom.xml file, but here we are adding, since we are creating the new project, we are applying the Spring Security here. Next, so this is the dependency we are providing here.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how I can add in pom.xml file that Spring context file I have to paste or something else, sir? How I can add in?
Can you repeat your question?
Sir, actually, I just want to know, sir, how I can add in pom.xml file that Spring dependency.
It is
Sorry,
very
security
simple. It is very simple. If you, whenever you create the Spring Boot project, automatically it will create the pom.xml file, and pom.xml file, anything you can add here in the dependency section. In dependency section, you can add here directly. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
there is a, I think
I
you are not the, from the beginning. I think you have not
no,
attended
sir.
any.
No, sir, I was from beginning, sir, but I just want to know that dependency from where I'll get that dependency.
The dependency, you can, any dependency if you need, you can go to the this directory mvn repository.com, and here like the Spring Security, I can write a Spring Security. Okay, so Spring Security, Spring Boot Security, you can Spring Security Boot. The Spring Boot Starter Security. For you, actually, it is the things required. Spring Boot
Yes,
Starter
sir.
Security. These dependencies, if you click there, and actually you need to, okay, better you add like this. Okay, Spring Boot, it is a 14. Actually, automatically you will choose where is the count is highest. Okay, where is the count is highest, that security better you add, because that is more stable, na? Okay, you can add
Yes, sir.
here. Actually, there is a lots of versions are there, and you can choose any version. Okay, 2.4, 2.8. This is the good also. Like this, you can secure, and just you need to add here. You need to click here, and you need to add this project. But before I want to show you, actually this project. Let's stop this, and which project we have shown you. What is the dependency? Suppose this, which project we have run few minutes back. Spring Boot MVC practice, this application we have run. This is the application I have shown you few minutes ago. Just again run this program, and what is the difference after adding dependency and after before adding dependency. Let's run the application again, so all of you will be get clear idea. Let the program run localhost 9080. Before security, page is coming directly. Now add a dependency injections. And actually what we have done, we can implement two ways. One things, during project creation, we can add the dependency. And suppose during projection, I have not added the dependency. Now I want to add the dependency now. So what I need to do? I need to do add this actual dependency in project. So open a project which is already dependency added. We can copy it, or we can download from Ambient repository site. Here a new dependency added here, Spring Boot Starter Security. Spring Boot Starter Security. Just notice it, Spring Boot. Okay, this is the dependency, Spring Boot Starter Security. So if you add this dependency, to this project, open this project. This project does not have any security. Spring Boot, just I am adding this. You just check after adding what is happening. I am just adding this dependency here. Just Now I have added a dependency here. After adding it, check what is happening here. Same project, which was directly coming to the index page. Now it will, the index page will not come. Okay, now again run the application. Again, I'm running that application. Just difference is that I have added a security Spring Boot starter security dependency here. Just if I click here, now this same, just I am refreshing it. Notice what is happening here. What is happening here? Please respond, all of you. It is not going to the index.jsp page. It is going to the login page. Is it right?
Sir, sir, that login page is already available in a security Spring security. Already we have done that using index.html and we are redirecting to it.
Login, this login page already inbuilt in the Spring Boot starter security. It is already inside inbuilt.
Yes, sir. Sir, another question is, sir, can we use instead of XML, can you use annotation?
Where?
Like we are copying manually, we are doing copy and paste in pom.xml. So can you do that Java integration like annotation based?
Okay, please listen. In Spring Boot security, actually only pom.xml. Pom.xml is a mapping file for all of the dependency. Here we have to use the XML. Understand? But
Yes,
in
sir.
during your class when you are creating the inversion of controller, there actually you need to use the annotation. If during your all Java classes, you will be using the annotation, and actually when there is the no annotation, actually all configuration happen in Spring code where there is no Spring Boot. We have to create a separate XML file, that separate XML file, and in that XML file we'll do the configuration. But here we are not doing it during Spring Boot. But in POM file, POM is a Maven build tool. POM file is there, it is a Maven, because this project is going to build by the tools is called Maven. Maven is a build tool, and Maven actually when building a project, it should check whether all supporting jar files are inside class path is there or not. When the moment you are adding this configuration in pom.xml, ultimately what is doing? It is doing it is from the net actually, it is doing downloading all supporting jar files to that project. So here you have to use the XML in pom.xml file. You have to use the only XML. No, you cannot avoid annotations here. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this is the login page. Now in login page, this is the login page. Now it is a login page. So how we can log in? We can try it. Something. User, just check. What is showing here? Bad credential. But let's try with a user. It is a default is a user and password. The moment we have added this security, actually a password, it has been generated by the application. A password has been generated by application. So we can use this password. Okay, using a generated security password by the tool. Okay, Spring Boot automatically it generates a big password. So you can use it. Password. Click here. It is now going to the same index page after checking the login. So up to this, all of you are working or not? You are able to understanding it or not? So far, what we have done? Just simple. We have added a dependency for Spring Boot starter security. We have done only this part. This dependency we have added. Spring dependencies .spring framework.boot, Spring Boot starter security we have added in the pom.xml file. So we can do two way during creation of the project or during creation of the project, or project was not secure project. Now we are implementing. So if you during creation, you can add Spring Boot starter security there. Okay, as a new files, new project, when you are going to new project, you can add there. Otherwise, you can add in the directly in the POM.xml. Both are same. It is clear up to this, it is clear to all of you. And next, actually what happened after adding the Spring Boot starter security, a default login page in now it will be not redirect. If you write the localhost colon 9080, it earlier it is redirecting to the default index.jsp page, but now it will be not switch. Before that, a layer has been implemented. A login page will come. Login page default user is user, and password it is generating by the Spring Boot starter security. And if you use this password and this password, it will be able to log in. After login, after authenticating, it is redirecting to your index.jsp page. Is it clear to everybody what is happening here up to this? Everybody can respond in chat box, or everybody can come to voice also. Again, after that, you can mute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, can you repeat one more time, sir?
Okay, one more times to repeat. See, if I comment it, let it comment. Okay, now you can stop and run. Okay, here you can just write localhost. Port has been set at 9080. Any login page is coming here? Any login page is coming here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Why? Because there is no security has been not implemented. Security section has been commented. Just notice Spring Boots that I have commented that section. I have commented this section. This dependency I have commented. So it is security is not working. Now uncomment it. Uncommenting it. And how we can add this security? Two approach. During creation of the project, you can add dependency in Spring Boot starter project, and there is a Spring Boot starter security. And if you not added during creation, you go to Ambient repository and copy the any section. Okay, if you go to the Ambient repository and search with the Spring Boot starter security, and just copy it and paste it in pom.xml inside dependencies section. You just added it. Okay, so after implementing it, what is happening? Next, the moment you are implementing it, if you right click and start, then direct your index page will not come. The moment you are writing here in browser, localhost 9080, a login page will come. A security page will come. Next here, the moment you will implement in the security, automatically a security password will be generated by applications. A security will be generated by your application. So you can copy this password and auto-generated password and user. Click here. After this, actually login page is coming. It is clear to each and everybody of who are attending these sessions?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a doubt,
Sir,
sir.
I am not clear, sir. Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Tell me your doubt. Which doubt you have?
Sir, my doubt is, can I make our own custom password like in database so that it will fetch from database, sir?
Definitely, I have shown you an application which is running with the database. Na? So with that will be our target, that we are going to do it. We are going to do it. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
this is a step one. This is the step one we have learned. But it is
Yes,
not
sir.
expected that actually a auto-generated password we will use for our security. It is not expected. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So next steps. So what are the coding we are going to do? Next codings will come. Okay, we can make this project in the security features. That will be good. Okay. Next code we are going to done. That's the code. We are creating a class application security config.java. It is a let's create a Java class application security config. I'm creating a package com dot training dot security spring boot dot security. Always you will keep the package name in small character. Okay, so we have created a package new create a Java class name, give the name as application security config app. Okay, so we are creating a Java class, and here some of the many inbuilt classes we will use. Okay, so what are the things we are doing? First, okay, step by it is already done, but I am doing the step by step for your understanding. First, we are implementing our class will be implement web security configure adapter. Web security configure adapter. Okay, we'll implement web security implements
extend sir. Extend
on minute. Okay, extends na. Okay, next, actually our level 2, we are doing some changes, and I will inform you and what we are doing. It's this section we'll use first. And I'm going to explain it every lines. Okay, here and comment it. Okay. We are going to create some new classes here. Okay, some new classes here, and one is the user details service. We are going to create a now a user details service, and a user details service. It is a inbuilt class inside Spring Boot security, where it is org.springframework.security.core.user details. In this package already it is implemented user details service. So next can implement list Java utility lists. Okay, array list you need to implement. Okay, let import array lists. Okay, but what is new? Okay, what are the new things? One is the user details. So we need to create a user details. User details is already inbuilt class inside Spring Boot security. Okay, just okay, import it. User details. Okay, you can check it where it is. Okay, click on user details. In user details is already inbuilt in the Spring Boot security. It has a one method user details load user by username. Load user by username. It is returning actually a user. It is returning user detail service. It's a user method name is user detail service. Okay, user detail service.
So what is the function of this user service? Sir?
So I told you actually everything you may not understand first because user detail, it is an inbuilt user detail, a service layer. In general, last day you can remember last day when we have learned about the REST service, we have created the service layer, but here it is inbuilt. Okay, just you keep in mind this service layer because it is a security features. Majority things is 99% things is already implemented. You just need to use it. So here we are going to create a user class. Okay, this is user details class. It is also inbuilt user details. It has already so many methods are inbuilt here.
Sir, user details is a interface or class, sir?
User details is a question. Is user detail interface or class. You click here. You click here. What is it?
Interface, sir.
Interface. So it is doubt clear. Okay. Next, we are going to create a user. We are going to create a user. So in user already there is a user object is already there. A class is name user is already there. So just you can what you need to do. You just need to enter and import. You need to import it. org.spring framework.security.code.user details. Just you need to 1 minute. Okay, here I need to create a user class. 1 minute. Our user class will be this is our user class. Okay, we are going to create a user class. Let's create a user class here. We'll use the new user class. Right click, new class name is user. This is our user class, and this user class we are going to add 3 value. 1 minute, for this level it is required. 1 minute. User details user.
Sir, control Z, bool input is yes.
1 minute only. This user Spring Boot security. This user. Spring Boot user. Let me check. com.user details, these user will be there. Okay, another input we need to do. Okay, this is the level 2. Earlier we have used the user ID and password and user, and password we have used the password which is been generated by Spring Boot security. Okay, it is a level 2 or step 2. Here we are using a inbuilt class is there, user. Inbuilt there is a method name. Okay, do not fear about this. Is the deprecator method. New methods, new method may have been implemented, but this is deprecator till little work. Username already it is set. I am setting the user. I am setting the hard code actually. When you have created any server application, you may have used the username password. You may have set in the your server class, and you are doing like that. We are not using user ID password from database. We are till earlier step 1 password was generated by the system. Now we are setting the username here and password any number I have setting roles as a manager. So let's check whether this is working or not. Okay, let's run the again application. Now again run your application. Here you can check in your application you have set password user allow and password 76 like this, and role is manager. Just check whether it is working or not. Password, this is your password. User with default password encoder. What is the user default password encoder pin? Okay. One things we have not, we need to add another two. Okay, you need to add this application security. Need to add two annotations here. At the rate one is the configuration. First is the configuration. API.
सर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करना है क्या, कॉन्फ़िगर करना है क्या इसे?
Configuration annotation need to add. Okay, and second is enable.
किससे कॉन्फ़िगर होगा सर?
Enable web security. These are the two annotations. Do not go much inside it at this level. Okay, gradually it will be clear. You just need to know whenever you are creating a class and to make this like in Spring Boot. If you create a home controller, it will not work until unless you are not going to add controller. It will be controller. It will not treat it as a controller. Similarly, we have created the application security config class, but this class will not behave for security until we are not adding this annotation. The moment you are adding this annotation, actually behind the screen, it is doing the XML configuration in the behind the screen, and actually so that it will be support your security features. Am I able to clear? So these are the some standard actually which senior architect they have done for us. So we need to apply it. Just we need to know how to apply it. Now run it. It is not working. Generally, it should not generate here. It is there is any configuration we're doing mistakes or not. Okay, let me check. Auto add user detail service. Okay. Understand. This is things we have not added. User detail service, yes. Not added. Okay, user detail service. This user detail service, we need to user detail service. It is a inbuilt. It is inbuilt user detail service. We need to annotation here. Okay, maybe this is the reason it's not working. Let's stop. Sorry. Actually, it should not shown here. It will be stopped to generate. Why it is not working? Okay, let's run this application. Okay, 1 minute. Let's run this application. Okay, user. We need to add it. Entity will come later, but this user principal will come later. Let's check whether it is working. Let me comment on it. It- Okay. Now give this user ID password. Okay, no authentication provider found or .spring for security authentication username password authentication token. No authentication provider found or .spring framework for security. Okay, let it check. Otherwise, where is the mistakes I need to find out? Okay. So, this password in code. Okay, somewhere it is mistake. Anyway, okay, let it explain you. Actually, this is the step to what should be and why it is not working. I need to find out the reason. Actually, it should be this user ID password. We are going to hard code it in the application. It should work. but anyhow, it is not working. I need to debug it. Next step, this is the step 2. Here we are going to the hard code in the code or properties file, user ID password, not from DB. So what will be the next steps? Our next steps will be to get the user ID password from the database also. So this is that will be our next steps. So for that, actually what we need to do, this is the next steps. Okay. At least I can check it whether this ready application is working again. That it will be helpful for our to implement also. Run it. Run on server. Okay. So let's check. It's working. So now how it is working with the user ID and password from the database, that is our ultimate target. In a real project, user ID password should be checked from the database, not from hard coded in the code. So that is our things we need to learn in this project. Spring Boot, this new project, let's create a new project. Already project is new project. Okay, in this project, so far we have done it. Now we are going to comment it, because we are not going to hard code user ID password in our project code. So let's comment it. Okay, so what are the steps we need to do? What are the next level of code? First, actually many things is already inbuilt here. We are going to add this section. Okay, so we need to understand what are this section. Here we are going to add authentication provider. We are going to add authentication provider, and it is a inbuilt method auth provider. And here we need to add the DAO authentication provider. This is the all inbuilt class DAO authentication provider. It is the inbuilt class for security. It is authentication provider. In this class, we are going to use DAO authentication provider. We are creating the object here. Provider dot set user details, provider dot set password encoder, set password encoder, get instance here. And here what is doing, it is going to user details, just this provider, user ID, password, and provider. Okay, this is the things. So far it is working. Now we are going to do next. You need to go to user details. You need to go to user detail service. User detail service. Before going to that, we need to create our own user details, service. Let's create a new class. I like the my user detail service. We need to create a new service class. How we are going to create a new service class? Create a new class, new Java class, my user detail service. We are creating this class. New class we are going to create. Next, what we need to do? We need to implement it. It should be user detail service. Already user detail service is implemented inbuilt. So it will be implements user detail service. It is inbuilt. User detail service is inbuilt. So next, we need to do the coding for user repository. We need to create a class user. Last day, I think you will be able to remember, we have created a repository class in Spring Boot, and we need to create a repository class. So create a class, new class, user repository. Create a class user repository. this is a user repository class, but this user repository class, actually, it will be user repository class. The user repository class, it will be extend, okay, user repository, just check the user, what we need to do. User repository extends JPA repository, JPA repository. So JPA repository, user, create a method, user, this user repository, it will extends JPA JPA repository, it will extend user repository user will extend JPA repository, and we need to edit user and long, user, long. And here,
Sir,
tell me.
can you tell us JPA repository? What is the JPA repository?
Okay, okay. Let me describe it.
And why we are using JPA repository?
JPA repository. The JPA repository is inbuilt class. Oh, right. Okay, so it is not getting it. Why it is not getting it? It is we are trying to, because we have not added that dependency. We have not added dependency. There are other dependency need to add it. So for JPA, what is you have questions? What is JPA repository? JPA, it is a Java persistence API, and actually it gives the ORM, object relational mapping framework. And Hibernate is one kind of tool for it. Hibernate is a ORM framework, it is a JPA. But actually for JPA, we need to add first dependency. Until unless you are not going to add dependency, it will not get it. So what we need to do? We need to add this dependency. During creation of the project, you can add dependency, or later you need to add this dependency. So find out the dependency for JPA. JPA Spring Boot starter JPA, Spring Boot starter data JPA, and you can add. How you will get it when you will do the first times, you can get it from MBN repository. Here you need to search it, Spring Boot starter JPA. You need to search with the Spring Boot starter JPA, Spring Boot starter JPA. So just go to here and you can copy it. You can, okay, Spring Boot starter JPA, copy it and click it, paste it in our new project, Spring Boot starter JPA. So it will be inbuilt and it will be download all JPA related supporting library classes. It will download all JPA related library classes. Now, if you go to here, okay, it's already downloaded. Now, if you go to here, now you can click Control Paste. Okay, just notice it's got the all supporting libraries also. So Spring Boot JPA repository, Spring Boot data repository. Implementers of the methods JPA repository. Find by starter. Any mistakes is happening? 1 minute.
The
JPA.
mistake was you use class instead of interface.
Huh?
Earlier it was class. Public class you have written. So that's why
Earlier it was.
class. You have written class, public class user repository.
Oh, okay. User repository we have created the class, na?
That's
Okay.
interface.
Acha. User repository, it should be interface. User
Hmm.
repository, it should be interface. Okay. Next, invalid delivered query, no property username found or type user. Okay. Let user derived query, no property username found on the type user. Okay. Find by username. Okay. And now in user field, we need to create the 3 fields according to our database. Our database is, go to our database, 3 field: ID, username, and password. Let's create field ID, private ID, private string, username, private string, password. Next. Okay. In this ID, okay, here it will be long. Okay, long, we can. Data type, we can change it to long. Okay. So next we need to generate setter and getter. Source. Select all. Generate setter and getter. Beyond it, what we need to do? Except setter and getter, we need to create entity. Okay, just entity and ID for this new class. At the rate, you need to add entity. And ID. Entity and ID. These are the 2 JPA related annotation we need to add here. Okay, so now it is next you go to, okay, find user repository, JPA repository, go to JPA repository, and in JPA repository you can get all methods. Find. Okay, this is in JPA repository. It is the actually all methods is already written there. Last day during our REST application, we have shown you the how we are using the CRUD method, find all by ID. Okay, and those are all methods last day we have used. All methods are for a basic CRUD application. All methods are already here. Already it is existing here. Okay, next I need to create another class. Here. Spring user principal class we need to add here in user principal. Okay, I need to create another class which is called user principal. Okay, no, user principal. Create a class. Next, user implements user details. User details. User principal implements user details. The user details will be user details com dot string framework dot security dot core user details. So create a class here, new class user principal browse user details. Okay, user details. Let's check. Not getting it. Why? Finish. Implements user details. Okay. So next is actually user principal must implement the inherited abstract method user details dot account not okay, many methods we need to add here. Okay, let's check. User principal here. Just we need to copy paste this section. Okay, we need to add user, we need to add it. Okay, later we will do. Okay, we can do it later after some time. Next, my user details, my user details service, we need to change it. Okay, my user details. Okay, we need to implement a load user by name. Okay. Okay, before it actually let it explain to every steps, then it will be better for all of you. Okay, what we are going to do here in user details, every time we will service layer, we will use the repository class. If you remember, last day we have used the in CRAD application, we have used the repository class here. So for that, actually, we are going to implement first user repository. User repository, it is equivalent to DAO layer, which directly interact with the database. User repository, which directly work with the database. So here we need to write the private user repository, and this is the object repo. Next, we need to add a AutoWare. Okay, AutoWare actually it will be inversion of control. It will be create the object for it at the rate AutoWare. Okay, so the moment you will do it, that means it is connected with this user repository. It will be connected with this user repository. This user repository, it will be connected in the JPA repository. It will connect in the JPA repository. And now It is not invalid to derive query, no property name, user now found in the user, no property username found the user. Already it has been property created. Property username. Okay, already it has been created. अच्छा, no property name.
Find का sir F होगा F.
Let we need to check. It is a user repository extend by JPA repository and find by username. What is this method? Need to check it. User repository here. Okay, JPA repository. Here is the find by username. Is there any method there? Where it is coming? Find by username, string username. Okay, string username. Okay, user. Is coming.
Sir,
Oh, okay.
after the completion, sir, can you explain one more time full project means file by
Yes,
file?
yes, definitely. This is the first time you are going to do. It is a complex for everybody. It is a when
Yes.
I have done also. It is a complex for everybody first time. Okay, let to understand it 1 minute. User JPA repository find by username. It is not coming here. Invalid derived property, no property username found type of the user. Already it is done. Okay, there are some other tasks I need to do. Okay, 1 minute. We need to do some configuration from the JPA related configuration. One configuration we need to do in resource file, in go to properties file. When you are going to the connection with the database, you need to do some configuration here. So what are the configuration? Since it will be connected with the database MySQL, so we need to do this configuration for MySQL. Here in MySQL, we are connecting this drive. This is the URL, this is username, this is the password, and this is the data source driver class name. These three things we need to add here. We need to add in properties file. Okay, one is the database. This is the first is the database connection URL. This is the username, this is the password, and this is the driver class name. Okay, next is this is the user repository find by username. It is not anyhow, it is not building it. What is happening? Okay, let's create it. Now uncomment it to understand it. Here we are in my user details. My user details, it is implementing user detail service, and user details actually in user detail service, go to user detail service. User detail service, it has only one method. Method name is load user by username. Load in user detail service, it has a method load user by username. So it is implementing here in load user by username and string. It is overriding, and we are writing this code. And here user dot find username. Okay, find user by username. Here is only one error is here. We need to check it how it is not working. Username not equal null. Actually, in user detail service, we have used one is the user principal. We user detail service. It is doing implementing user detail service. We are using repository class. User details is using the user. How it is getting user repository dot get find username, and we are passing the username, and for that actually it is getting the user object, and user object. If it is not found, it will be shown this message user not found, and ultimately it will return user principal object. User principal. In user principal, actually we need to do some changes. Actually, by default, when you will do the first time, all methods will be all are the false. It will be all are false, and here we need to change as a true. We need to make it as a true, and if we go to the user principal, okay, this is the user principal. Next one error is there. Only one error is not working. Find user, find by username. It is coming, should be invalid directory, no property method found in the type of the user.
User class open karo sir.
1 minute. This method should be there in the user repository. Okay, now it is working. Good. Okay, now it is working. Okay, it is all error gone. Okay, so let me explain again and the all steps. What we are going to do here. First things is, okay, there is some build problem was there. Let's close all files first. Application security. In application security, how it is connected? We are using here user detail service. User detail service, what it is doing? User detail service. Go to user detail service. In user detail service, it is just calling a method load user by username. Load user by username. Okay, and here we are is inbuilt class DAO authenticator provider. DAO authenticator provider. It is using the user detail service. So user detail service set user detail service and set password. It is getting the password from the backend. And now another class is there, my user detail service. In my user detail service, here is the actual work is happening. It is calling the repository. Repository works with the database. Repository works with the database. And here we are using the JPA repository. So in user repository, go to user repository class. It is simple a user JPA user repository extends JPA repository, and JPA repository it's uses as it will pass your entity object. Here is the entity object name is user and primary key of the object. Primary key is the ID. If we go to the user object, in user, this is the entity and it is a primary key. And we need to user repository, always you need to replace JPA repository, user and primary key, user and primary key in okay, generics in Angular type. And the moment you are in the user, and in user has a method name is a username. So it will be internally, it will be implementing, it is getting a method find by username. This username is a property of set username is a property of user. So it will be internally getting a method find by username. Earlier it was error string because of the it was not able to build and package structure was the wrong. So that was the reason it was giving the wrong. Now it is working. So this is the moment it is getting the value repository find by username. We are passing the user field value and it is returning user object. And this user object is ultimately returning user principal. In user principal, if you go to user principal object, initially, if I comment it, actually what is the backend is there, we are actually replacing here. If we comment it, just comment it, and actually it is extending inbuilt class name is user details. Go to user details and go to user details. In user details, if we notice all there is a methods are, these are the methods. These are the inbuilt methods. These are the inbuilt methods. Okay, interface user details. Interface user it has a authority, get password, get username. All methods are written here. Okay, in user details there is an inbuilt class which contains all method get username, get password, get account non-expired, account non-expired log. All values are there. Now we are implementing our class user principal. In user principal, just we are doing these changes. Okay, 1 minute, I can do it for your experiment. User details. User, the moment you will do the user details, com.security user details. Okay, click here. Add unimplemented methods. Okay, you can add all unimplemented methods. Okay, just it will come to default. Okay, please understand. I have commented this section. You need to click here. User details, it is an interface. When you are implementing here in user principal, all values are coming like this. But if you notice here, all our authentication, everything is showing the false. Everything is showing the false. In this, up to this level, if we run this program, okay, let's check what is happening here. What is happening here? It is, first of all, it is not connected. User principal is not connected with the user. Okay, it is a user repository. Go to user repository again. Okay, the constructor user principal user is undefined. First things, just we have implemented constructor user principal is undefined. So go to user principal. First, we are going to add a, just this is the all methods we have implemented. Again, let me do again to your understand. The first things, if this is a class and if it implements an interface, if it is an interface, then how we will click? Okay, let's click here. Okay, click here, and it is giving that option add unimplemented methods, because in class it should be implemented all methods of the interface. So you click here, all methods you are getting implemented. Next, if you go to here, you'll notice that it is showing the problem because the constructor, it is not able to return. It should return an object of the user principal object. So it is not returning it. আমি সেশনে আছি, পরে কথা বলবো। The things is we need to add the constructor here. So what we need to do? We need to do user principal. We are adding this constructor. There is options you can do by yourself also. Just right click here, right click and go to source and generate constructor. Generate constructor using superclass. Okay, so you are generating the constructor. Okay, generating constructor using superclass, this will be not work. We need to pass the generate constructor using field. We generate source, generate constructor using fields. Okay, here we need to add a fields user private user private user. Okay, and why we are writing here? Just you think it, in user principal, a user detail service, it is returning an user object. User detail service, it is returning an user object. So we need to create we need to create an user principal, a constructor which will return an user object, okay, which will create an user object. So go to the source, go to source, generate constructor using fields. Click here. So it is generating the constructor using fields. Now if we go here, it will be, your error will be removed. It will be error gone. Next things, will it work now? Okay, we have done all configuration. We can check it whether it is working or not. Okay, let's run the program. Most probably it will not work. Okay, you can run again. We have done all configurations. We have done all configuration related to database, and already for database related all configuration we have done in the application properties file. You have given the database path, database user, database password, and database com.mysql.driver also. Just few minutes. Stop here and build again. Run here. Okay, it is showing. Okay, it is showing the. Okay, notice it. It is not able to cannot load com.mysql driver. Why? Because the dependency we have not added here. We have not added the dependency for MySQL so far. So we need to add the dependency. If we do not add the dependency, then it will be not get the supporting classes here. Okay, so notice here we have not given MySQL dependency here so far. So let's give MySQL dependency here. We need to give the MySQL dependency here. So for MySQL dependencies, we can copy here, or you can from MBA repository, you can add MySQL driver dependency. So this is the dependency for MySQL connector. This is the dependency for MySQL connector. And go to here. MySQL connector, we need to add this dependency. Click add here. Just we have added dependency. So how many dependencies so far added for security? This application, once we have added Spring Boot starter security, on you add dependency, we have added Spring Boot data JPS dependency. Third dependency we have added MySQL connector.java, MySQL connector Java dependency. 3 dependency we have added so far for our application. Let again run this application. Okay. So some for these request file could not be activated. It does not exist from. Okay. Again, why it is showing it? This is the some mistakes is some. Okay, it should not be. Maybe we are doing some mistakes, but this is the configuration. I will check it how, because the moment you will set up, it will not generate this password. It will stop to generate this password. This should be stopped, but it is still, it is some missing is happening. So let run the existing, which is working fine, this project. And only one changes are pending. Let me explain this. Only one changes we need to do to run the project. In user principal, by default, everything it will be shown as a false. We need to make everything as a true. These things we need to make as a true. Is enabled, we need to true. We need to make the is credential true. We need to make all value as a true. Okay, this is the primary. Get username true. Get password return true. Okay. We need to do it username. Here you need to write it user dot get username. And another thing's password, you need to do it user dot get password. These two changes we need to do. Boolean is account expired. Is account expired, is account non-expired. These three changes you need to do. That's all. Okay, some one mistakes is happening. Actually, it should not be generated. The moment we are using this password, it is not expected, but till it is showing that maybe some mistakes is happening. We need to off this. It should not generate. This is on mistakes is happening. Let's check it till login. So localhost 9080. Full code. It is not working actually. Okay. Anyway, I need to find out it why it is showing from where actually these user security using generated security password should be disabled. How it is working till that is a surprise. Okay, let me show you here. Okay. Now run localhost 8080. Okay, it's working. So this is the now let me summarize all files again for all of you. Okay, this is the application. What we have done, application security. This is the application security. It is using user detail service, and we need to use the DAO authentication provider. This provider we need to use, which is providing your security provider. Okay, and here we are going to user details. Actual work is happening in user details. Here in user detail service, in user details service, this is the inbuilt class, and it is just returning a method load user by username. And load user by username. It is the my details service. My user details service. It is using user details service, but it is a reacting with the user repository. It is a communicating the user repository. User repository. It is getting the data from the database. And here it is a if we got the value, it is returning user object. If it is not got the value, it is showing the some error. Okay. And finally, it is storing all value user principal. In user principal, ultimately it is returning user object. And here changes we have done. It's a we need to do user.get password, user.get username, and it will be ultimately return an user object, and that user object will pass to the user object. This is the user object. It will be go to user object, and finally user object. Sorry. And here actually it is user details service. And finally, there is a username on identity. This is the entity here, and this is the user principal object here, and this is the user repository. So this is the all backend coding, and it is working with the user ID password, and it is connecting with your database. If you use another user here, suppose I'm in free and password. Okay, just I'm adding this password, apply. Okay, finished. Now go to in use. Give the wrong password, suppose. Okay, it's a bad credential. It is working. This is all for your security, Spring Boot security. Okay, only one area actually I need to check when I create the new project till it is generating system generator password. I need to check why it is happening. I need to find out why does the mistakes is happening internally. So this is the project now. All of you got a flavor how Spring security is working, and it is getting the validating user ID password from database end to end. So this session is helpful to all of you.
Yes, sir.
We got some overview
Yes,
at least
yes,
how
sir.
Spring security is
Yes, sir,
working.
very useful, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you open home controller.java and application properties?
Home controller.
Yes, sir. Is this in this project, sir?
Yes, yes. This is the home.
Yes. Yes. And also, sir, last one, application properties.
Okay. This is the application property. Just we are setting the value user ID. Okay, when you are going to use the MySQL, and actually here we need to use the MySQL. There is user ID, URL, username, password. These are the things you need to use.
Okay, sir. Sir, this in com.training.secure package, there is a user principal, user repositories. Can you open these two? Because I
Okay.
want to see, sir.
User principal, what we are doing, actually we are implementing all methods of the user details. Go to user details. These are the all methods we are implementing. This is the interface. We are implementing all methods here in user
Okay, sir.
principal. But here we are doing some changes. Here actually we are by default it is a user dot get password, and then it is getting connected. User dot get username. User dot get username. User dot get username. This is the area changes, and by default all will come as a false. We are making all are as a true. We are making all are as a true. This is the changes happening in the user principal, and user principal finally it is returning user object. User principal finally returning user object. Okay, this user principal, if we notice here, this is returning user principal returning. It is creating the user object, and it is taking as an input as user. Why it is? Because you are sending from screen. Just check from screen you are giving the user value, and actually then it is going to the backend. it's checking the with your password whether it is matching or not. If it is not matching, it will be not work. So it is, if it is not, then it is a actually it will show the error. It's a bad credential, and ultimately it is in application security. Here it is a provider in security provider. This is here already all are inbuilt class. DAO authenticator provider, DAO set
Yes, sir.
user detail service, okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
set password encoder. So these are the all inbuilt classes there, and finally it is a providing your security providing. So this is the way it Spring Security is working from end to end.
Okay. Sir, if you want to call a user detail service .java file, that time set user detail service using. Am I right, sir?
In user detail service, actually it is auto-wired. Actual user detail service is inbuilt. Okay, if you go to the user detail service, normal user detail, there is a in Spring Security, a user detail service already inbuilt. You are not creating. It is because it's the inversion of control. It is creating internally. But that class has a inbuilt method. If you go to here is one method is you are implementing load user by username. We are implementing that. We are implementing the load user by implementing name by our requirement. This is the area we are implementing. This load user by username is where it is inside. It is inside user. It is inside user repository. It is inside. Sorry, it is already in user detail service. It is already in user detail service interface. We are implementing here. We are implementing and we are getting a user object.
Okay. Sir, next one is the user repository.
Okay, user repository is doing simple user repository task. It is a DAO layer. It is just connecting with your database. It is internally, and when it is a JP repo, that this time actually it is checking the all values from your properties file. It is going to here. It is using MySQL. Okay, it is a MySQL to connect the MySQL. What need to do? You need to use this is the URL. It is username. It is password. Okay, these are the MySQL related all connection file. Understand? So this
Yes, sir.
it is a MySQL related all connection files here, and in the user repository, this repository, you need to pass ID, first value ID, and this is the primary key. First is the user object. We are using user object. We are using the ID. Okay, so it is inside it. Some methods are already written, and user repository, we are creating the find by username. How we are getting it? Because it is implementing user method. It is implementing user class, and user class has a property as a username. So it is getting the find by username. It is getting the find by username. That is the reason it is getting the find by username. The moment you are implementing it. Okay. Ultimately, it is getting the user. It is getting the user. User, if you go to the user principal, so the user details, here in user repository, user repo dot find by username. Repo dot find by username. Okay, this is the okay. You are getting the find by username from here. In my, since it is a repository class implementing the it is a JP repository, and it has a method by find by username, and it is returning a user object. It is returning an user object. That user object, that backend database current, that object we are passing to here, and in user principal, it is actually setting that user ID dot this user principal. It is setting the user dot username, user dot password.
Program.
Okay, so it is actually 1 or 2 times when you will do by yourself, and gradually it will be clear to you also.
Yes, sir, but I want to see full project now. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, I tried my level best to clear the all knowledge and concept here. Okay, and definitely next time when you will do gradually much more clear will be happen. Okay, that's all from my end for Spring Boot security, how we are implementing the Spring Boot security. And whenever you will go for any interview, definitely some questions can come. And if you do hands-on by yourself, it will be really helpful for all of you. Okay.